Stand, Manchester United have drawn 2-2 with Southampton, and I know there'll be a lot of people saying Mourinho's got to go, he's got to go. I agree with you, I've been saying this for weeks. We've played Crystal Palace and Southampton and we've taken 2 points. We could have lost one of those games, won the other one and had a point more than what we've got at the moment. It's unacceptable, it's terrible, but you know he's going to spin it. You know he's going to spin it. You know that Marcus Rashford's individual brilliance, and for me, Marcus Rashford was man of the match because he was the only player on the pitch who actually did anything today. If it wasn't for Marcus Rashford, we would have lost that game. It probably would have gone 3 or 4-0. Marcus Rashford gets us back into it. In the first half, I think we were 2-2 at about 35 minutes. And in the ensuing hour after that, we did sod all. I mean, what's going wrong with this football club? You get back to 2-2 from 2-0 down, and then the second half you come out like the first half was a dream. It's the same shit. I mean, Southampton weren't particularly good in the second half, but they had way more shots than us. We did nothing. Absolutely nothing in that second half. There was no urgency. There was no... I mean, why? Why did he do this? Can somebody answer me this? Why did he do this? Why did he play McTominay, Matic and Jones and then Fellaini in front of them? 4 giants and they had a couple of hobbits up front. Like, what was the point of that? And then he compounded the mistake by continuing doing it till the 90th minute. We went to Southampton, one of the worst teams in the league, and that has been confirmed by their performance tonight, and parked the bus. That is a joke. That is an absolute joke. We parked the bus. Every time they got the ball, we had 9 men behind the ball. It's a disgrace. He went to Southampton with the intention of not getting beat. We need points. We need points. We are going to be, tomorrow, we are going to be something like 8-9 points off 4th place. With the gaps got bigger since Palace and Southampton. We play Palace and Southampton and we've dropped points again. 2 points from 6. It's unacceptable. And because he's not losing, because we've got owners who think, well, we haven't lost, we got a point, we got to keep him. We're building something under this Mourinho guy. You know, we're not building anything. A draw is a dross. It's a loss. It's a loss of 2 points against teams that are at the other end of the table. There's no urgency from our manager. I think the team I think that team today was banter. And I think the performance that we produced under that team was banter. It was lethargic, it was slow. And these are his players. McTominay, Fellaini, Matic, Ashley Young, Lukaku, Luke Shaw. These are his run-through brick wall players. These are the people who at training are putting the cones out for him and they go into their little circle and laugh at his jokes. These are Mourinho's men and they produce crap performances like that. Marcus Rashford kept him in a job again, just like Martial did in October. Martial's been treated bad by Mourinho. Rashford's been treated bad by Mourinho. But it's these players who keep him in the job. And it's these players that we as fans cling on to because they are players that we believe are Manchester United players. Marcus Rashford today, after being called Trashford by some people, was absolutely superb today. I mean, Kai Boo says, don't blame Jose for this. Manchester United have played this way under 3 different managers. Jose is guilty of being unable to fix the problem, not causing it. Well, I totally disagree with you. He picks the team. He doesn't need to pick that team. He's got Mata on the bench, Lingard on the bench, Martial on the bench, Pereira at home playing on his PS4. You know, you've got flair. You've got flair there. Fred on the bench, 50 million. He could have... I'll tell you what Liverpool and what City and what Chelsea will do when they play... Well, Chelsea have already been there and won 3-0. When they go to the Saints, they'll just play attacking football and beat them. This is what I'm trying to get across to you. We parked the bus and played a land of giants to try and stop Southampton scoring. If we'd just gone on the front foot with the likes of Mata, with the likes of Lingard, with the likes of Fred, we would have won that game 4 or 5-0. They're crap. But we went to Southampton and played for a bloody draw. We got back to 2-2. You think second half, momentum, we're going to go and win this 4-2. We sat back again. You know, we go 2-0 down. Rashford gets us back in it. And then for the next hour, we sit back. That's what I've just watched. We sat back. We get back to 2-2. Not with 5 minutes to go, with 55 minutes to go, and we sit back and defend. Southampton were the better team in the second half. They created more chances. We were shit. We were defensive. What's going on? We've got players to go at them, but this manager won't let it happen. We're a bloody embarrassment, and just because we've drawn, people won't take it as a loss. Take it as a bloody loss. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We better bloody beat Arsenal on Wednesday, because that's bigger than football. That's about sitting them down and their knobhead fans. You know what I'm talking about. But that today gives me no hope. It gives me absolutely no hope at all. And there's no excuse. Mourinho will come out afterwards and say I only had one fit centre-back. Well, if you've got one fit centre-back, attack. Don't put 4 bloody giants at the back so it nullifies us. I mean, Pogba was bad today, let me be honest with you. He wasn't very good for United. He wasn't. But you take Marcus Rashford out of that team and that game was lost. It was a one-man team performance. And yes, Lukaku and Herrera scored, but I would have scored those goals. They were on a plate. I mean, Lukaku's goal, I don't even think that was a shot. I think he was trying to control it. That was Lukaku's first touch in the back of the net. That wasn't a shot. He was trying to control it. So, Marcus Rashford gets us the result. Absolutely brilliant. Smash a like on the video if Marcus Rashford was your man of the match, because for me, it's very, very simple. I'll do my player ratings in a moment, but I thought the substitutions were terrible. I thought they were absolutely terrible and came too late. And this is something else I want to say. Mourinho was always going to take Rashford off for Martial because he never wants to take Lukaku off. He's never going to take Matic off, McTominay, Fellaini. He's never going to take his favourites off. But for me, at half-time, when we were given a second chance, because when you go 2-0 down after 20 minutes, the game should be over. Rashford gives Mourinho a second chance. We go in at half-time at 2-2. Take a deep breath and go, I've got away with it. My tactics of playing defensive football were stupid. I've got away with it. Second half's my chance. I expected us to come out in the second half and play in a different way. I would have took Fellaini off. I mean, Fellaini was a waste of time today. CDM in a team that's not really got many attackers. We play a CDM in Fellaini. I would have took Fellaini off. I would have dropped Herrera into that position. He was busy. And I would have stuck Mata, Fred or Lingard next to Pogba, which would have given our midfield more impetus to get forward. He didn't do that. He didn't do that in that entire game. I would have took Lukaku off because he was crap, and I would have played Martial and Rashford, which would have doubled our effect on that Southampton defence. They couldn't deal with close control, quick players. Rashford was causing him all sorts of problem. Martial and Rashford would have finished them. Lukaku nearly injured himself. He went to control the ball, he trod on it and nearly did his knee in. He's a banter forward. He's absolutely terrible. The amount of crosses, the amount of first touches. There was a brilliant ball from Pogba to Lukaku. All he had to do was control it and pass. Rashford was in one-on-one. First touch goes straight to a Southampton player. So much wrong with that performance. And I tell you what, you are wearing wool over your eyes if you do not see that game was a lost game if it wasn't for one player. Marcus Rashford, who got so much stick on Tuesday night. Marcus Rashford on Tuesday night should have had a hat-trick, but he gets himself into those positions. I'm telling you, the lad's talent. He should be playing up front. He should be playing at number 9. And if we're not going to give him the opportunity, get out, Marcus. Go on loan to Bournemouth, because I think he's a great player. He's a number 9. Martial should be on the left. Rashford should be up front. Sanchez should be on the right. That should be our front through. Get rid of that Lukaku player. He's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. He's indicative of the whole team. Lethargic, lazy, and they get away with it because they make Mourinho his cup of tea every morning. And that's it. Mourinho's got his favourites. Ashley Young, Fellaini, McTominay, Matic, Lukaku, the famous 5. Well, they all played today and we were rocking horse shit. We were terrible. Absolutely. And rocking horse shit doesn't exist, by the way, because they didn't exist. They were rubbish. And Mourinho didn't bother to change it. And I'm fed up of it. And a lot of people will say, oh, it's not a bad result. Well, it is a bad result. Because 1 point against a relegation team when we are miles off top 4, we're playing catch up. We're not the team to be caught. We're playing catch up. And we've took 2 points from 6 games against banter sides. Banter. Crystal Palace. The equivalent of an all-you-can-eat buffet for free. It's a free ticket. It's a free meal. Southampton. Managed by Mark Hughes, banter club, and we've took 2 points from 6. He should be gone. He should be absolutely gone, but he won't be gone. He'll still be there. Shinji Kagawa says that was a really intense game. I think 2-2 was a fair result. Rashford was definitely man of the match. Chong and Pereira would have been good in this game, and Earthling Poyer's made a contribution. Lukaku's first touch is so deadly, he nearly injured himself with it. Exactly. We're going to be live at 8 o'clock with the calling, so if you disagree, agree, or there's something you want to get off your chest, that stream is already set up. So as soon as I've done this, we will be doing that. Do I dare to talk about Pogba, Rishi? Look, I don't avoid anything. Martial's my favourite player. I said live outside Old Trafford last week, I said Martial was terrible. And he was terrible last week. And I love Paul Pogba. He was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. In fact, let's do the player ratings. David De Gea, I can't give him anything better than a 6. He didn't make any good saves. Couldn't do anything with the goals, so a 6. Ashley Young, 5. I thought he was crap. I thought he had 2 opportunities to... Even at the end, last kick of the game, you think Banter FC were going to nick it again. Undeservedly, we're going to win 3-2. He puts a shit cross in. There was another one in the second half. Young's on the right-hand side. Rashford's free. Lukaku's in the middle. He's just got to dink it over the first man and Rashford's one-on-one. He hits it to the far post. No one's there. So 5 for him. Phil Jones, I actually thought had a steady game. I'd give him a 6. McTominay, I'll give him a 6. Steady game. They should have had a penalty, but I'll give him a steady 6. Matic again, 6. I mean, they didn't have a lot to do, really. Luke Shaw, 6. Fellaini, 6. I didn't see the point in Fellaini today. In fact, I'd give him a 5. He meant to dictate the play. Crap. Herrera, 6. He was busy. Pogba, 4. By his standards, Pogba's a 4. He was poor. He doesn't look interested. But to be honest with you, I'm going to defend Pogba and say that would you be interested in a team like that? You're going to Southampton. We're going to park the bus. And when you do get the ball, just hit it long to Rashford and Lukaku. You know, it's not really a team for Paul Pogba anymore, is it? It's not really a team for Paul Pogba. He was poor in it, but what do you expect him to do? He's got bloody McTominay and Matic behind him, Fellaini next to him, Lukaku in front of him. He fell out with Lukaku at one point. They were arguing with each other. I just don't think... He can't work miracles, but he was poor. And old Brownie says, Southampton lost to my old team, Fulham. Laugh out loud. Well, you know, United are playing Fulham next weekend. Rashford, 10 out of 10. I thought he was absolutely superb. And I'll give... maybe it was an 8 in a real world, but he got us a point today. That the individual brilliance from him twice got us a point. So Rashford's a 10. Lukaku, 4. Crap. Absolutely crap. I know he scored a goal, but... I could have scored that goal. It's on an absolute plate. He doesn't do anything unique. It was on a plate. I wish we lost the game. 1 point wouldn't make a lot of difference, but the loss would have increased the chances of sacking Jose. Before this match, we would have been okay with Mourinho till May. Now, get the hell out. 2 out of 6 points. Top 4, are you joking? Dalot, Martial subs, seriously. And Earthling Poya says, how can players like Pogba perform with this joke of tactics? Put Fred next to him and Pereira behind, then the Pogba will have someone to play with. I agree with that. I mean, Pogba was poor today, but a lot of it is to do with what's going on around him. It's just something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. Woodward sat watching that. Surely Woodward was asleep in that second half. Surely Woodward was like every other United fan at half time. I'm absolutely convinced we're going to go and win that game in the second half. You get back to 2-2, you're absolutely convinced you're going to go and win it, and then nothing, absolutely nothing in the second half. It's just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. And I personally think he should be sacked. He's got no excuses. He's got no excuses tonight. You can't talk about centre-backs. You can't talk about excuses. There aren't any excuses. We've gone to a team in the bottom 3 and you get back to... That's the thing for me. 2-0 down's not acceptable. But you get back to 2-2. Momentum. Their crowd is silenced and worried. Momentum. They're on the back foot. Go into the second half, we go on the back foot straight away. Jose and Hughes are probably having a beer together right now as that poor result has kept them both in a job, says Luke Ledger. Southampton will definitely he'll definitely keep his job because a point at home to Manchester United, you can live off that. But from a Manchester United point of view, we're just an embarrassment. We're an absolute embarrassment. That second half, it was like we were holding on for a draw. And maybe that was Mourinho's plan. Maybe that was it. But... I don't see Mourinho being... A lot of people are saying sack him. I don't see it in a million years. There'll be, even if we beat Arsenal on Wednesday, 5 points from 9 when we're playing catch-up. It's just not... It isn't good enough. It's not good enough. It really isn't. And I don't know how anybody can accept that. Please do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes. I want to take some of your comments. Then we're going to be taking your calls on the call-in show. So Manchester United have just drawn. We're on 22 points. So we're up. We're back in 7th. We're back in 7th. But we are 6 points off 4th, which will become 8 tomorrow, I would have thought. Mourinho is actually just talking to the press now, so I can give you live updates of what he's saying as well. He says, we lost so many balls in midfield and it was difficult to have that continuity. So Jack Carr says, we always said that if Jose picked his favourites, it wouldn't work. I suppose that is a good thing. No momentum in the team, in transporting the ball and leaving the ball in the right moment. So blaming the players again. Obviously, it can never be Jose's fault. In the second half, we went back again to that dynamic where we lose too many balls in the midfield. And when the players don't understand that, simplicity is genius, but especially in some parts of the pitch. But if Mourinho sat there after the game saying, we lost too many balls in the second half, we didn't do the simple things right. You sat on the bench with Fred and Mata and Lingard, mate. It's not like if after 10 minutes it's not working, change it. So, and he talks about good spirit coming back to 2-0 to get a 2-2 draw. It's not good spirit. That's individualism. It's got sod all to do with good spirit. That's to do with Marcus Rashford pulling it out of the bag. Absolutely brilliant. And he's talking about respect for the shirt from Phil Jones and Marcus Rashford. Not the result that we want. I think Ashley Young misses Arsenal, 5 yellows, says Sheraz Kamath Fitness. Well, that's a bonus for me. That's a bonus for me. Really is. But, he's digging the midfield out. He's talking about whatever. But I don't agree with that. He could have played Fred. He could have played Mata. And he's talking about us losing the ball in midfield. Well, we were doing it all game. Make the bloody changes. Go for it. You know what I mean? It's just not acceptable anymore, is it? Not acceptable. Always excuses as well. There's no excuses. He's talking about the first goals and saying they were a bit lucky for Southampton. You've had an hour to go and win that game. He irritates me. Just irritates me. Just looking at him. Everything is about protecting himself. Protecting me. When you're turning out shit like that, it's like a chef and you're just throwing stuff out that's not warm. It's got your own bloody pubes in it. It's crap. But he'll find an excuse for Manchester United, for God's sake. The squad did a very positive job for 2 midfield players and Phil Jones leads that group of 3 in a way where we were totally in control. But we weren't in control. We weren't in control. They had loads of chances in the second half. It's full of nonsense. Fucking nonsense. He's got butterflies floating around his head. He's an idiot. Absolute idiot in relation to what he feeds out and what he believes. What's it going to take for him to be taken out of our club? The tenacity and the aggression from Southampton is not matched by our team because we don't have any fight, because he doesn't deliver any fight. It's just a lethargic manager full of excuses. And he's talking about players just need to play simple passes, 1-2 touches. This is coaching, mate. You've been here for 3 years now. 3 years. I don't know. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like on the video. Let's see if we can... well, it is a good comment actually from James Harrison. He says, no identity, no tactics, no attacking. Jose, get the F out. Which I don't necessarily disagree with. But he's always blaming the players. Always blaming the players. Anyway, I've said my bit. Smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes. In literally 15 minutes, I'm back live again with the call-in on Discord. The stream is already set up. If you go to the homepage, it'll be called the Mourinho call-in. So get yourself over there. I'll be live again in 15 minutes taking your points. That's my match reaction. Give us your comments below if you're not watching live. Hit a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I don't know where we go from here from United point of view, but I don't think it's worth pretending you're Jose in or being Jose in. 2 points from 6 is crap. I want to hear your views. I'll see you in 15 minutes on the call-in show.